DeLonghi Rivelia versus Eletta Explor. For me, the gap between these two isn't espresso. It's how the machine fits into your daily routine and how fast you can switch between beans without thinking. They're in a similar premium range, but they're built around two very different drinkers. If you live on iced coffee, swap between regular and decaf, and want guided profiles for everyone in the house, one of them is the obvious pick. If you mostly pull hot espresso and milk drinks and want a more traditional setup, the other fits better. Both linked below.
Espresso first. This is where most people make or break their decision. And honestly, both machines pull from the same DeLonghi DNA. 15 to 19 bar pumps, integrated burr grinder, 13 grind settings, and bean adapt to help you dial things in. Out of the box, the Rivelia tends to deliver a slightly stronger, more intense shot with solid crema, especially on medium to dark roasts. The Eletta Explor goes a bit hotter, and for some folks, that translates to a sharper, more bitter cup until you back the temperature down a notch. There's one review I keep coming back to on the Rivelia from someone who switched over from a Breville and couldn't get the espresso strong enough no matter what they tried. That tells me this isn't a magic wand for people chasing bold, Retto-style shots.
For everyday espresso, both are consistent once you spend 10 minutes tuning. If you mostly drink milk-based drinks, neither will disappoint. If you're hunting that punchy third-wave shot, both will frustrate you a little.
Now, milk. This is where the Eletta Explor opens up a real gap. It ships with two carafes, hot and cold, while the Rivelia comes with the latte crema hot only and forces you to buy the cold carafe separately. The hot foam on both is genuinely good for cappuccino, latte, flat white. The texture is dense, the dial controls foam level easily. Where it gets messy is serving temperature. There's a recurring complaint on the Eletta that flat whites come out around 125 Fahrenheit, lukewarm by most standard. And it's not a one-off unit. It shows up enough that it's worth flagging. The Rivelia runs warmer on milk drinks in general. Neither machine pulls true barista-grade microfoam for latte art, straight up. If that matters to you, you're in the wrong category. For everyday cappuccinos and lattes for the household, both deliver, but the Rivelia is the safer call on temp. Bean switching is where the Rivelia earns its name. Two removable 8.8-ounce hoppers. Swap them in seconds, regular in the morning and decaf at night with no purging. The Eletta has a single 300-gram hopper, so if you want to switch beans, you're emptying and refilling. For households where one person drinks decaf and the other doesn't, this is the single most useful feature on the Rivelia. Both machines give you 4 user profiles. Both have bean adapt to guide you through dialing in new beans. The Eletta adds smartphone app connectivity, though on the US model, the app features are stripped back compared to what you see in European reviews. If you're the kind who actually wants to tweak from your phone, manage profiles for the whole house, the Eletta has more on paper.
If you just want 2 beans ready to go without thinking, the Rivelia wins this one cleanly. Hot and cold drinks. Here's where the Eletta Explor flexes hardest. 50+ recipes, dedicated cold extraction technology that pulls cold brew in under 3 minutes, a to-go mode that lifts the drip tray for travel mugs and scales drink sizes properly. The Rivelia has 18 recipes, hot and over ice, but no true cold brew function without the upgrade. If you live on iced lattes and cold brew all summer, the Eletta is built for you. If your routine is espresso, cappuccino, and the occasional iced coffee, the Rivelia covers it without the extra carafe juggling.
Cleaning is closer than the feature list suggests. Both auto-rinse on startup and shutdown, both have removable brew groups, both have dishwasher-safe milk parts. The Eletta has more pieces to manage, thanks to the 2 carafes, and that's real fridge space if you store the cold one cold. The Rivelia is simpler day-to-day, fewer parts, faster rinse cycle. Both will remind you when to descale.
On size, the Rivelia is the more compact machine and fits under most standard cabinets, while the Eletta Explor is taller and deeper, so measure twice if your counter has overhead storage. Price and value. Both sit in the premium DeLonghi tier, and they're in a similar range, with the Eletta typically running higher. The Eletta gives you cold brew, 2 carafes, to-go mode, and the bigger recipe list. The Rivelia gives you the dual hoppers, a smaller footprint, and a tighter focus on the essentials. The Eletta tends to see more aggressive discounts during major sales events. The Rivelia holds its price more steadily, but shows up in promotions a couple of times a year. Here's the call. There's no single winner here, and I won't fake one. These two solve different problems, and the gap really comes down to how you actually drink. If you swap between regular and decaf daily, or you want a more compact machine that runs warmer on milk drinks without juggling extra carafes, the Rivelia is the better fit. If you live on iced coffee and cold brew, want 50+ recipes, and like the idea of app control and a to-go mode, the Eletta Explor is built for your routine. The Eletta tends to see bigger discounts during major sales, so worth waiting if you're flexible. And you? Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below.